Now I am going to show you how to work with the custom image filter. Custom image filter means I will make a system using which you can do the repeated task with one single command. That means, for example, you see that in the previous example we wrote some styles. For example, we did the fit, resize, then blur, brightness, etc. If I want that for any particular image system or for any application that we are making, if we decide that the same type of task will be happen for many functions. For example, here you see there is a test function, but I have many other functions in my application where the same type of image changing or filtering will be happen. So in that case, writing the same lines in each function is actually a time consuming task. So in order to avoid this type of thing and in order to optimize your application, what we do, we create the custom image filtering option. So how to work with the custom image filtering, I will show you here. In order to use a custom filter, I am just going to make a PHP file into my app folder. So in the app folder you see that these are the folders, but here I will create a file now. I will give here a name that is custom filter.php. This is a simple PHP file I just create. And in this PHP file, what code I will write, in order to understand it, I am going to the filter option. You will see that from here, if you go, you will see there is the image filters. If I click here, you will see that how to use image filter that is given here. I am just going to copy the code from here. From here I am going to copy. Now I am going to paste the code into the newly created custom filter.php file. And here I will rename this, and this will be custom filter class. Now I am going to remove all these things. These will not be needed actually, so remove this. I will only need this function. So I change the name custom filter, and in the top you see that namespace intervention image filters that are given here. I am just going to do one thing, that is my namespace. When I am going to use the custom filter, the custom filter.php, here what is actually the namespace location, that is into the app. So here I will just rename it and use app. So namespace is here app. So I just call it, and here I will use one thing that is already given here in the documentation. And here if you go here, you will see that there is a intervention image filters filter interface. I am going to copy this one, and in the top I am going to use like this. So I call this filter interface like this way here. Now it implement the filter interface as I call it here in the top, and the namespace is okay. And this is the apply filter, that's also okay. And what things I will do here, that is, for example, I want to resize the image. So image resize, and here I am going to give that it will resize into 400 by 300 in this size. And also I will apply some other things in the image. For example, image grayscale, this is okay. If you want, you can also make the image blur or other items you want, you can apply here. But I am not going to apply any other thing here. This is okay. Resize and grayscale. So here this the task of this file is done. Now I am going to my home controller. And how to use this, in my case it is also given here, that is this line, apply filter. How I can apply filter, I am going to copy this and paste it in my case. For example, I am going to make all the things off, and here I am going to make also this off. In the test I am going to call like this. Actually this will be here, this line is here, okay. from the main image, my main image, that is main2, that is given into the public uploads, and here is main2. So this is the main image. I will apply the filter on this image. So this is okay. I get the variable image, so I will call the image filter. This is actually not demo filter because I rename it, that is custom filter. So here I use the custom filter. No parameter is needed to give here. If you want, you can pass the parameter according to the example gave me. So you can use like that also. For example, you can just make a variable like this size, and then use the construct, then also pass the parameter into this function. So in this way you can use that is no problem at all. So now what I am going to do, just custom filter, this is okay. Now after that I will save the image and my code is here. So like this. So in this path I am going to give the image, that is custom.jpg. You see that there is no photo by the name custom.jpg, so I give here the name custom.jpg. If I now run this, a custom.jpg will be added here, but here you see that I use a custom filter object of the custom filter class and pass it as a parameter of the filter function. So this custom filter, as I am going to use it here, so in my controller top I will have to use like this, use app, then I will have to use my custom filter, because my location is app then custom filter here, and I am going to create the object of this class. So I just call it to the top. Now it should work. Now I am going to run it. Now check it. You see that a custom.jpg comes. If I click on here, you see that the filter is applied on this image, because what we wrote in my custom filter, that is 400 by 300, it will resize first and then grayscale. So you see that the image is reduced and then grayscale format. So in this way you can create the custom filter and apply that in your application. Here you see that I wrote 2 lines, but it can be a lot of other lines. For example, it can be very complex function, or you can do a lot of tasks here. So just call the custom filter like how we did here, and automatically all the content of this function, all the filtering and all the useful function that we use here, that will be applied on that image. So just you have to call this by one line. So one line will do the task for multiple lines. So in each function, if you need anytime custom filter, just call the function. That's all. So I hope you have understood how to use the custom filter in your application.